All right. We're back from our break.
It feels like a winter break.
Unintentional break. Welcome back to the Bump in the Night podcast. I am your host, the Boogeyman, along with my co-host,
Ginger Snap.
and our producer in the background, Miss Moist.
Miss Moist.
And today's topic is romantic horror stories, right?
Yes.
Is that
Kind of
is that
like monster romance.
or a yeah? I don't even know what. I can't even come up with something clever.
Bestiality.
Bestiality. People are gonna think this is like a porn thing. I don't know, like Monsters in Love or.
Why do we love monsters?
Yeah, there you go.
Let's get into it. What you got? Come on. What
you go
got?
first.
No, you go.
I went first last time.
No, you didn't. I go first all the time.
Did you?
Yeah, I did.
Okay, let me get my little list.
Oh yeah. So another thing too, I wanted to point out. Hold on. I'm sorry.
Cut me off. No.
Always. I know you guys are thinking like you guys already did something like this called Psychos in Love.
Different, yeah.
This is a total different subject, and this one, like that episode, was really more about
like stalkers,
a one-sided relationship that really just that didn't really belong, but it also dealt with the dark side of the human mind, where you get obsessed about something, or someone.
Lifetime.
And then what do you get? Brought to you by Lifetime.
Brought to you by Lifetime. Television for women.
Television for idiots.
Hey!
Oh.
Family Guy reference.
I know that.
A lot of people want to get that though. But so these are two total different topics, and these are movies that really deal with the romance and the tragedy of romance with our characters. And I don't know about your movies, but mine definitely deal with the tragic nature of what happens when a romance gets entered in a world that it really doesn't belong. Yeah. Because romance is so heavily thought of as a living thing, not a dead thing.
So this is the first time I don't know your list. We'll see. I mean, I have, I hope.
Yeah, you kind of gave me a few hints already. I was like, you're an asshole.
Well, I'm shocked. I'm going to be surprised because I don't know what your picks are.
They're kind of obvious if you think about it.
Are they?
Yeah.
Okay, but just to clarify, we're not doing any of like the Universal monster movies because we already discussed that in our opener. So I know there's a lot of those, but we just talked about it. So ones that I went with were ones that really affected me. So I guess I'll just kick off. So my first one I'm going to do is May from 2002, directed by Lucky McGee, who's one of my favorite directors. This movie is really deep. This movie really affected me because the main girl in this, Angela, I can never pronounce her last name. Bettis, thank you. She's so amazing in this movie, and she's such an amazing actress. But this is such a deep movie because this is a total outcast in society. Doesn't have a lot of friends. Doesn't really have anybody. Works at a vet office and has to deal with animal deaths all the time. So she sees that dark side. But this is a girl that just wants somebody. She just wants like a friend. She just wants
a connection.
She just wants. It's not even sexual with her at all.
No, it's a connection. It's just like an emotional connection with someone. Exactly. She's just so disconnected from the world.
But she's so like sweet and timid too. Like she's not a bad. Well, at first she's not a bad person. So you really sympathize with her, like especially if you're an outcast.
I think you sympathize with her throughout the film, though. Honestly,
yeah, but
because even at the end, I still like.
Oh, that made me cry.
I understood why that happened. Yeah. I was like, you know what? Like, I totally get it. Like, yeah. I don't like. I feel sorry for her. That sucks.
Even though she kills people, you feel sorry for her. Like that's. So that's the monster is like in her is like she can never be satisfied and fully have someone, and she kills people. Or there's like accidents and she doesn't necessarily mean to kill them, but she makes a best friend. She finds the good in people. She's like, oh, you have great legs, or oh, you have great arms, have nice hands. She always compliments people and likes. Her problem is she can never find the perfect person because it shows how fucked up people are, and you might like something at first, but then you can see the dark side to them as well. Like, oh, that person's actually an asshole, It's kind of like dating. Like at first you're like, ooh, and then oh, he's treating the waiter like shit, or it's kind of like that reference.
Oh, he's a lousy tipper.
Or he's a lousy tipper, yeah. So because all these people just are dicks actually, and like they don't satisfy her. She kills them and she makes their parts into the perfect friend or the perfect being. And that last scene where you see, like, I don't want to give it away because it is, that ending really, like, I saw when I was 16, I, like, bawled after watching this. I was like, oh my god. But when the hand lifts up and it, like, touches her, it's like, whoa. I don't know, like, that shook me. That was, like, whoa. But amazing performances from everybody. Even Anna Faris in this was, like, a total, like...
She's a bitch.
She plays a good bitch, though.
She plays a bitch, you know? And
you
that's,
know?
And I
Jeremy
found that,
Sisto.
I found that refreshing, too, because,
Yeah.
like, she was coming off a scary movie.
Yeah.
You know, she played the ditz, and,
Yeah.
you know, she had, like, a really small role in this movie, if I remember correctly, but she was a fucking bitch.
Yeah, she was a bitch lesbian. That's what she was in this. But Jeremy Sisto is amazing in this, too. Who else am I missing? There's a lot of other good people.
There's a lot of cameos in there,
Yeah.
but I really do like this movie, and I remember when I first saw it, I was like, "Holy shit!"
It's heavy.
It's a really good movie. And like, I saw this back in 2008.
Oh, okay.
I was working at the apartment complex down in Watsonville, and I was doing an overnight shift, and on my lunch, it's like, I have this movie on my laptop, so I'm gonna watch it. And I watched it, and I was like, I should not have watched this on my lunch, because now I gotta go do my rounds with my eyes all red and stuff. Like, oh shit, what if I get stopped?
I know. It's a heavy movie. It's not like a happy ending or well, I mean, it depends how you look at it, but it's heavy. It's definitely heavy. I don't recommend watching it if you're depressed, you know.
No.
But I definitely recommend watching it because it's such a good movie, and like I said, she's the monster creating a monster. You know, that's like the
basically pieces just romanticized.
Just romanticized, yeah.
Just with a love story.
Exactly. Yeah.
It actually ends like Pieces too.
Kind of, yeah.
You think about it, it really does. So my number 5 is obvious, Candyman. I think this is one of the most romantic films that I've ever seen, like in that horror genre up until that point. You know, and basically Candyman tells a story about a painter who, you know, was killed by a white mob because he fell in love with a white woman, and they cut off his hand, and then he comes back and seeks revenge on his community. And this investigative journalist comes through. She's trying to disprove the myth, but then she ends up calling him, and then all of a sudden Candyman sees that, well, not only that you disproved me, you also, there's like layers to it too, because when you think about it, there's like she's the reincarnated of his past love. Yeah. And that's mentioned too toward the end of the film, and even in the sequel as well, because like, and when you put Virginia Madsen's picture next to the other picture, they look alike. Yeah. And so, and that's why the whole ending takes place that way, because
such a good ending.
Candyman wants to sacrifice Virginia Madsen's character so they can be together for all eternity. And I think that was just a really strong movie. And I think that the one thing that they did drop the ball on was the very end when he calls her at the end and she comes up.
Oh, out of the like that thing. Yeah.
I'm like, come on. Yeah. Because they didn't even touch on it on the sequel.
I haven't seen the sequel in so long.
Day of the Flesh.
It's been such a long time. I remember it wasn't as good as the first one, but
it's actually pretty decent.
Is it? I have to watch. I have to rewatch it again. It still has Tony Todd, so.
Yeah, and I think it's on Prime right now too. So.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, this is one. I think this is a really good movie, and
ahead of the times too. By the way.
Yeah, definitely, and one of the best '90s films too.
It really is. It's
one of the best '90s horror films to come out.
Yeah,
and it's kind of a high, and it set the high bar.
It did.
Really, it did. I won't spend so much time on this because everyone's talked about this movie, especially with the new release and the 4K. And the remake that's in post-production right now, so pre-production.
I'm like, they already shot it?
I know.
Did they announce yet who they want as...
No, not yet, so I think scripts are still being written, so...
No one can do that voice, though. I'm sorry, like, that voice...
I think I know who could play Candyman.
Who?
Idris Elba. He's a British actor.
I could see that. He's got a very dark
He's got that
voice.
He's just as big as Tony Todd. Yeah. He has that deep, soothing voice, But that all depends on how he stands on where his stance is on horror, though.
Yeah, because he doesn't really. I mean, he did that stalker obsession one, which I really want to see.
I have that movie.
Was it good?
It was okay. The one thing that kills it for me is Beyonce. I'm sorry.
Oh.
Beyonce
No, not that one. He was in another one.
No, that's the same one.
No,
That's the
it's
same one.
it's not the one with Beyonce. It's another one.
Which one?
I gotta look this up. Hang on, keep talking.
Oh my god.
No, there's another one. Hang on.
No, I'm pretty sure we're talking about the same one. Let's see.
I mean, I'm looking at a photo of him right now. I know, right? I'm looking at a photo of him right now, and I can see it. If you give him that like black trench coat, you know, or whatever. He's a Virgo.
Because that's important.
No, I'm on his IMDb.
It is important.
I'm on his IMDb. He does a lot of voice work actually. Who was Fluke in Finding Dory? You don't remember?
I remember.
I will find this. Hang on, just keep talking. No Good Deed. That's the one. No Good Deed.
Oh!
An unstable escaped convict terrorizes a woman who's alone with her 2 children.
No, he did another one.
I know, with Ali Larter, right?
Yeah, that's the one with
Yeah.
Beyonce.
Yeah, but this is the one I'm talking about.
That's not the one you're talking about.
Yeah.
No.
Because he becomes like obsessed and tries to get in her house. Reminded me of like a Lifetime movie. That's why I
Oh
wanted
my
to watch
God.
it.
Oh my god.
That one. This one came out. Anyway, this one came out in
God.
2014. Anyways, moving on.
Okay. But I won't spend too much time on that because like everyone's talked about Candyman.
Yeah.
But I will say that it is like one of the best '90s horror films
For sure.
ever.
And one of the best horror films in general.
Yeah, it is, and I think that is next to my number one, probably the best romantic horror story that I've ever seen.
Yeah. Wow. And it's a good movie to watch around Valentine's Day too, by the way.
Yeah.
All right, my next pick is Vampires. It's Near Dark, 1987, directed by Catherine Bigelow. Have you seen this movie?
No, but I know of it, and
Okay.
I want to see this movie,
It's so
mainly
good.
because of fucking Bill Paxton.
It's such a good cast. I mean, Lance Henriksen, Bill Paxton. It's just such a good cast. This is a really romantic movie. All the guys in it are so good too. It's kind of takes place out in the country. This guy, they're cowboys essentially, and they have it's like a ranch or a farm. I don't know exactly what it is, but he's out in the town one night, nothing to do, and he sees this girl, and he just can't take his eyes off of her, and there's something mysterious about her. They get to talking. She's like, I can't. She's like, can you take me home? I can't be out late. The sun's coming up, or whatever she says. And he goes, why? Why do you need to go home? Why? I just want to spend time with you. She's the vampire. She bites him, and he's doesn't know what's happening, freaking out. The way they do it too is very romantic. It's very slow motion when she's biting him, and when she goes away. It's not so Twilight kind of try to do that at times, but it's not that. It's more, I don't know, it's more sensual to me in my opinion. But anyways, you find out she's a vampire. He's starting to become a vampire. Doesn't know what's going on with his body. He's flipping out, and they never actually say vampire in the movie, which is interesting because every other film you watch after the vampires, they say I'm a vampire.
Nosferatu, the living dead.
Right? They never say that. So, but it's implied because they bite necks and blood and all that.
They're just cannibals, that's all.
So it turns out she lives with a bunch of people. Lance Henriksen, Bill Paxton, who's Severin. He's got the coolest vampire look, I think, ever.
There's this great picture of him in a bull hall covered in blood, with a double barrel shotgun, with sunglasses on.
And his black leather jacket.
I need to see this movie.
All very punk. Everyone dresses cool. He's very punk in this, which I really liked because I was really into punk at the time I was watching this. But they're all just living together in this RV. Lance Henriksen's the leader. What's his girl that she was in Terminator, I think. I don't remember her name, but she's in a bunch of James Cameron stuff.
Can't
remember her name.
Sarah Hamilton, right?
No, it's someone else, but she's in it. She's good. She's Lance Henriksen's partner. And then there's a kid in it who's old. He's older than anyone, I think, but because he's trapped as a kid, he's a little shit, he's kind of the light humor in this. But anyways, they're a group of outcast vampires that are all traveling together, and they hesitate on taking this new kid on. Bill Paxton certainly doesn't want him joining the team, But they do take him, and then he kind of becomes like a groupie in a way. He's like tagging along with all these vampires. And meanwhile, he still loves the girl that bit him. And there's a great bar. The favorite scene in this is the bar scene. They go to this bar. Shit's going, like, you just know shit's gonna go down. The music changes. Is it the Cramps that play in the background? If anybody knows the Cramps, I think it's the Cramps. Fever. They do a cover of Peggy Lee's Fever. And you just hear that sound, and like all like the Hicks are looking at these people, like the vampires, like, okay, what's going on? And then shit just hits the fan because Bill Paxton's one that causes it. He jumps up on the bar. He's wearing spurs on his boots.
Yeah.
Such a cool scene. Puts his boot up, has the spur, slices the bartender's throat, and like that's when everything goes haywire. But yeah, I don't want to give too much away, but that's like my favorite scene out of all this. But there's a lot of dark shit happening. No pun intended with the title Near Dark, but it is very romantic, and it does have a happy ending, I will say, which is rare for a lot of vampire films. But
I hate horror movies that have happy endings.
well, they find a cure. The kid's dad finds like a cure on how not to be a vampire anymore. Which is really interesting because you don't really see that. Daybreakers kind of has,
do that.
Yeah, which I actually really like Daybreakers, but
that was okay.
This like was the starter of that. So, but yeah, it's just a beautiful movie, and like I said, one of the best casts, and I don't know, and as a woman director to do it, it's like, whoa, this is back in the 80s, so that's pretty cool. But highly recommend
Catherine
it.
Bigelow is like a well-respected director.
Yeah, after Hurt Locker.
Yeah.
She didn't get a lot of respect
Dude,
before.
she did the fucking best movie of the 90s. Point Break.
Point Break, yeah.
Come on, dude.
I know.
Come on. Like, dude, how can you match that? Near Dark, Point Break, and The Hurt Locker. Boom. There you go. So my number 4 is another obvious one, Interview with the Vampire. So this stars Brad Pitt, Tom Cruise, a young Kristen Dunst, and
she was the best.
The debut of Antonio Banderas.
In America?
Yeah.
Huh.
Because that was his first one. That was his first movie, and I think he made his lead role in Desperado 2 years after.
Oh, I really like Desperado. That's good.
So this one and Christian Slater too.
Can I tell you a fun fact about that?
What?
River Phoenix was actually supposed to play that role, but because he died, Christian Slater took it on for free.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
I know.
Get on Christian Slater. Sounds like a good dude.
Yeah.
Plays douches, though, but yeah.
I love Christian Slater.
You played a douche in this, I'll tell you that.
But can you imagine if that's Everybody Beautiful and that, like, holy shit. Everybody, they're all, like, blonde and, like, I don't know. I love that. But yeah, go ahead.
What is that? What's going on here?
What's going on here?
All right.
I was trying to look something up that you guys were talking about.
Are you looking at porn over there?
Bestiality porn.
God.
Just kidding.
I'm going to plead the fifth.
Oh, just kidding.
Gross. This basically is a reporter basically interviewing a vampire, and he's telling him a story. And one of the reasons I picked this is because there's an interesting love triangle. Actually, a love square toward the end of the film.
Yeah.
And it's very interesting, too.
And it's technically
it's
LGBT.
Lestat, Louis, and then the girl.
Yeah.
But, there's this interesting love triangle. But then later on, I think it was the girl that wanted to find a mom, and then she ended up biting some girl and turning her. And Louis was very against us, like, no, why would you do that? You just ruined her life.
Louis was the good vampire, yeah.
Who ate rats.
Yeah, instead of people. Lestat's the one that's the bad one, but he was so freaking funny. I love Lestat.
Tom Cruise as Lestat was
so good. Did you see Queen of the Damned?
No, I didn't see it.
Which is like the follow-up where he's a rock star, but it's played by Stuart Townsend, not Tom Cruise. I wish they did Tom Cruise.
I kind of wish that I don't know, that I don't know. I haven't seen the movie. I just saw the trailer and I was like, nope, I'm good. I'm good. I'm sorry. It looked like a musical. That's probably one of the reasons why I didn't want to watch it.
I liked it when it came out, but now looking back, I'm like, what was I thinking? But it had a really good soundtrack, though.
That's always important.
It is.
It is. And so, but there's an interesting romance here, and you see this romance for centuries. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And it's interesting to me because it's, Lestat and Louis have this love between each other.
Yeah.
But they just don't admit it to each other. But then Louis has this love for the girl.
Claudia.
For Claudia, that's your name, right?
Mm-hmm.
Claudia. But he can't because Claudia just says, you know what? I'm a girl. I'm stuck in this body because of you. You did this to me.
I always took it kind of like he was like her kind of father. I didn't take them being sexually...
No, because there wasn't sexual. Well, not sexual, but there was like a romance there. Because right up until that point, she has that nervous breakdown.
Mm-hmm.
She said, she's like, I loved you, Louis, blah, blah, blah. I always have.
Yeah.
And, to me, I took it like, that's how that was. Because like, had she grown up, she would have loved Louis. Not like a father, but,
As like a boyfriend or something.
Yeah. And so that's how I kind of took that. But I could be wrong. But there is an interesting dynamic between the four people, especially later on. And again, this is what happens when a romance enters something that's really unholy. And then you just see it shift. And and then again, the characters actually have very depth. They're very...
a lot of layers.
Yeah, they're three-dimensional characters, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then when they die toward the end, it's not because they're supposed to die. It's because they have to die in order for Louis to learn, what he is. And he had to be okay with that.
So sad, that fire scene.
That is sad.
Ugh, so sad.
And it was done by his own people, too, which was even more fucked up.
I know. But Louis surviving at the end like a little bitch. And, like, my favorite part is, like, because you could tell he just, like, cared so much about his appearance is when he's in the car driving. I think it's the Golden Gate Bridge, right? Yeah. And his sleeve is not perfect, so then there's like a close up of
that's Lestat.
Yeah, Lestat, and he's like doing this, like fixing it so he looks all like perfect. I love that scene.
Because I've been listening to this shit for 100 years.
Yeah.
Let's listen to something else.
Yeah, Tom Cruise is so good in this.
Yeah, I thought Tom Cruise and Brad Pitt, you had the two biggest stars at that time taking on these two roles.
Taking on gay vampires. That would have, like, destroyed...
Yeah. But they never said they were gay. It was always ambiguous, you know what I mean?
The book, I think, touches more on that, but...
Yeah, and I think the writer-director, they said that, and this is actually directed by a woman, too. Yeah. And she actually says, like, if we actually do this, like, we actually come out and say that they are gay, that it's gonna hurt.
It's risky, yeah. At that time, it was super risky.
But she's all like, I'm just gonna add the layer of just them having this relationship and let it be very ambiguous. And no one batted an eye about it.
No, a lot of people love this movie.
Shit.
Yeah.
And this is another movie, too, that I thought that was a really great film in the 90s. Not even just like a great horror film, but this is just a great movie in general.
It is. And it still holds up, I feel.
Yeah, it does. And so that's my number 4, Interview with the Vampire.
Well, that's a good choice. Okay, so my next pick...
No one cares. Show's over.
Click. You'll like this one. This is a fucked up movie. It's Dead Girl from 2008.
Okay, so this one right here, I want to challenge you on this because this one's more like psychos in love, not really romance.
Let me defend my point.
No, you can't.
This has to do with necrophilia, which is freaking grotesque enough as it is. I actually wanted to do Necromantic and Necromantic Part 2, but I didn't do those. I don't know, because I wanted to give these guys a chance. But have you seen Necromantic or Necromantic?
No, that sounds like a double feature that we need to do, though.
It's probably the grossest movie I've ever seen in my life. Necromantic 2, especially. It's German, of course. They do fucked up things. You gotta watch those. We should actually do an episode on that. But anyway, so necrophilia, it's a whole thing, and like people are into it. It's a thing. This movie came out in 2008. I don't know. I really feel like this movie pushed the boundaries because they're teenagers. Like, we're forgetting, like, these are high school kids. You have Shiloh Fernandez, who I love. Noah Segan, who's great. He does a bunch of horror movies.
He's a fucking asshole.
I know, he's such an asshole in this.
You know what? He's like the Ben Affleck of horror, because he always plays assholes.
Yeah, I can see that. He's so good, though. He's like, I really like him. Anyway, so they're like high school, and like Shiloh Fernandez is an outcast. He's like totally in love with this redheaded girl, and he just can't get her because she's dating a douche. She's dating such a douche. So they're like walking around.
Super jock.
Yeah, super jock, right? Jock bro. They're walking around. They find this kind of like abandoned hospital or this abandoned building that was once a hospital. They go down into the basement area, and there's this girl tied up, naked, and she looks really crazy. And it turns out she's alive, but she's dead. And poor Charlotte Fernandez's character, he's like, you know, what do we do? Like, we should tell someone. And Noah Segan's like, no, like, don't tell anybody. This is where the monster comes into effect. She's technically the monster because she's dead and she's like crazy and, you know, she's a living dead girl, right? So you think that's the monster. She's not. Noah Segan is the monster in this because he pimps her out for the jocks at high school and charges them money to have sex with her. He's the fucking monster in this, and that's kind of where I'm defending it. Where this is a monster. There's a
fucking goddamn. There's a very
There's a shocking scene.
There's a scene in there that
they show it.
I haven't seen this in a long ass time, but I really, this is one that I really wanted to rewatch too because I only watched it once.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I only watched it once, and I was like, that's it, I'm done. I gotta watch this again.
It's
like
heavy.
I could say I could see this movie, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But there's a scene where like when he pimps her out, and then the jocks all find out about it.
Yeah.
They try to take over.
They all come, yeah.
And literally,
they all do. It's like a gangbang.
And they're like, you know, and the dude's he's all goading him to put, you know, his dick on the dead girl's mouth. Yeah. Because early in the film, like, she bites. She bites. I forgot about that. She bites, and she's got like crazy teeth. Yeah. And he's like, go ahead, do it. Yeah. Do it. And then
yeah. And Noah Segan's like wearing a robe, I remember, right? At this point, he's like wearing a robe or something.
Like halfway, he starts becoming Hugh Hefner.
Yeah, like
I was like,
Hugh Hefner of necrophilia. Yeah.
And I was like, where's the smoking pipe, man? Come on.
Oh, he was hilarious, but he's like, you fucking hate him because it's disgusting.
But then it's interesting to me too because like he transforms once he gets those scars on his face. Yeah. Those scratches.
He becomes much darker.
And he's darker, and it's just like, man, him in his robe is just like very unsettling.
Yeah, he's the like to me, he's the monster.
And then when they start stabbing her.
Yeah.
And he's and he puts his finger in it, and then he sees like the goo in there, like all the blood, and then he gets an idea, and then he's with his friend. He's like, "Hey," he's like, "Make your own hole."
Yeah, that's so gross.
Oh, I was like, oh my god.
Yeah,
it's a terrible movie.
I can see why a lot of women won't like this movie.
This movie got bashed.
It got a lot of bash, especially from a lot of women. I loved it because I kind of went past that.
It was misogynistic. And it was like, oh, you guys are like promoting rape culture, blah blah blah.
And this was 2008, right? So imagine if this came out like 2 years ago.
Or now.
I don't know.
You know?
I don't know if they could get it. And I didn't know this movie had 2 directors, by the way. I didn't know that.
Did it really?
Yeah. I didn't know that.
Either.
But yeah, I couldn't see this movie being made now. There's like no way, unless it was like girls doing it to a guy, which is harder to do.
That's the sequel.
Well, that was Necromantic 2, which we got to do an episode on. But
no, but seriously, the director he said
they were gonna do
that was the idea for the sequel.
They should
was
still
to inverse it and then have it a male and then 2 girls do it.
Do it, directors.
That would be like an interesting take too. Yeah. Because I'm very curious to see how that would work.
They could even do that like found footage style too if they wanted like a cheaper budget. You know?
Do you guys know of the other movie called Necromantic with a K?
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. The one before Necromantic 1 and then Necromantic 2, the German one.
About the street sweeper?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. That's you guys have to. It's so disturbing.
Okay.
But this Necromantic 2, I feel, was way more disturbing. But anyways, yeah, and like I said, Noah Segan is the monster in this, and that's why I wanted this to be mine. And then
it's a fucked up ending too.
Yeah, because Shiloh Fernandez gets what he wants. But he's more romantic about it, though. He's not like Noah Segan.
So that's okay?
Yeah, because he's not like creepy Noah Segan in a robe, like pimping her out. So that's different. He actually loves this girl.
It's so hilarious because at the end he's like...
Well, don't give too much away, but...
Oh my god. It's just so outrageous. It's like, what the fuck? In the way that the camera is moving and it's just panning.
And the candles.
And the reveal. And it's like... Are you serious?
I liked the ending.
I thought
it worked.
I thought it worked too. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying, holy shit, that's a fucked up ending.
Yeah, because he was the good one all along, you know. And then,
but then if you look at it though, you really look at it and really, you really divulge into that. Yeah. He became what he hated.
Exactly.
So that to me that was interesting.
And it also had a really good soundtrack with a lot of like cool indie bands, so that's a plus. But yeah, Dead Girl. That's
all right. So 4? That's 4, right?
Is it?
Why aren't you keeping count?
Our producer should keep count. No, that was my number 2.
Oh,
Oh, no. Sorry, that was my number 3.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was your number 3?
That was my number 3.
Okay. Alright, so my number 3 is Let the Right One In.
The American?
No, Swedish one.
Okay.
I actually prefer the Sweden version over
too.
to the American one. I thought the American version was decent and it was good, but I felt like the relationship between
Oscar
and the girl was not fleshed out as well as in the Swedish version.
one, yeah.
I actually met her too at the
really?
at the Sinister Creature Con.
Wow.
And I told her, I saw that movie and I thought you were really brilliant in it.
She was great.
And she's like, "Oh, thank you." And I asked her, like, "Have you seen the remake to the movie?" She's like, "No, I haven't seen it." I was like, "Oh," and you're not supposed to do this, but I did. It's like, "Oh, how come?" I was like, "Oh, I'm just," I guess she gave me a real answer because she's like, "I've just been in school and I don't follow movies often," and so I got to meet her and I got to tell her that, so that was cool. And that's my story.
And we're done.
Yeah. But I feel like that relationship between Oscar and the girl is a lot more fleshed out and it's a lot more believable. And then it's put into context of why the older dude is with her.
Yeah.
Because he was the first Oscar. Well, maybe not the first Oscar.
One of the Oscars.
And that's why he started getting jealous and saying, you don't love me anymore. And she's all like, I can't, I'm stuck. Again, the interviewing the vampire, she's stuck in that little girl's body. I think that the relationship here and what she does for him at the end
that was such
really does prove her love for him.
Yeah. That was a great scene.
Yeah, and it was crazy because then all of a sudden you just start seeing shit like, what's going on in the background?
Yeah.
And then when he comes up and she's like just mauling on those kids.
Yeah.
It is a little long. You do need some Red Bull for sure.
Green tea.
But I really enjoyed this film. I prefer it over the American version any day, honestly.
I will say though, I really liked Richard Jenkins in the American version. I thought he was.
Yeah,
great.
I thought that was a smart casting choice,
Yeah.
really. And they can never do a sequel to this movie.
No, how would
You couldn't, because how would you explain her growing up all of a sudden?
Yeah, you couldn't. Yeah, for what it was a great film. So sad, and you could, you could feel the cold there too, because Sweden, there's that cold, dark, weather really added to their dynamic.
To the atmosphere, and you can totally tell that this kid is falling for her.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
and he was so cute.
And then when she leaves, you can tell that he is fucking heartbroken.
Yeah.
And he's like, "Oh my god!" He's like, you know what? Just kill me now."
I wonder if the kid that played Oscar, I wonder if he's in anything now.
Oh, the kid over there?
Yeah, the Swedish one.
I don't know.
He was
I
good
know too. the girl. She said that she took a break from acting after that and
to do school.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And she said she might come back to it later.
She should. She's good.
Yeah, I thought she was a really good actress. But you see my theme coming up though, right? Between these two.
I don't know. We'll see.
Because this romance here kind of shows. Again, when the other one shows what a romance does with an unholy thing, this romance actually juxtaposes and so shows you what this romance could mean for them growing up.
Yeah.
And I think the romance between Oscar and her is real enough, and I don't think she would throw him away like she did the other guy. Because I feel like there's something real there.
There's a deeper connection between them.
Because I think they understood each other and they both kind of had the same childhood.
Yeah. Yeah, he was an outcast too.
Yeah.
He'd always get bullied and stuff. All right, so anything else you want to add to that one?
No, I think I said everything.
No? Okay.
I think. Oh, by the way.
And then, okay, so my number 2, this was so hard to do because I was like, I have 3 others that I wanted to talk about. Maybe we could do an honorable mentions after this.
Yeah.
Okay, so my number 2, it's a fun one. It's not a serious one. It's Sleepwalkers from 1992.
Oh my god.
Have you seen Sleepwalkers?
Yeah, I've not seen Sleepwalkers.
This is a fun movie. I don't care. Like, you can't take this movie seriously. You know, you just can't. And it's like, I don't know, because I've been in a cat mood recently because my cat died. So this kind of like, I don't know, cheered me up because there's cats in this. But yeah, this is one of those movies that you could just watch with a group of friends and like just have fun. It's not like a.
This is a movie where you get like a bunch of friends and some beer and some pizza.
Yeah.
And start drinking every time a cat shows up on screen.
Yeah,
be
exactly.
drunk by like minute 15.
Yeah, but when I first saw this, it was probably like on Sci-Fi or AMC late night. I loved it. I especially when like he makes his car disappear. I was like, that is so cool. But anyways, this is a movie about another high school movie. I do a lot of high school stuff. I don't know why.
Yeah, grow up.
I know. Well, I think because I saw a lot of these when I was in high school. But anyway, so this girl, you know, she works in a movie theater, and there's like a cute new guy in town, and he's like super cute, and she really, really likes him. And they start to go out, and you find out he's not exactly human. I actually really don't know what he is. Is he like a cat?
Did you watch the beginning of this movie?
Yeah, but you never really.
So
they never really
so
say.
The fact of the matter of him dancing with his mom and trying to bang her.
Yeah.
In the first 5 minutes, you're gonna totally just gloss over that and go right into the movie.
I was gonna lead up to that when I talked about the mom because she's such a good actress. The mom, she's so good.
That's the same actress from Black Christmas, right?
No. No, she was in Silent Hill as the bad woman in Silent Hill. She's got a name I can't really pronounce. But she's great. So I was gonna get to that, but she's. All right, go. So you find out, okay, the girl comes to meet the mom for the first time, and the mom is just weird, and all she talks about is like the girl's beauty, and there's all these like cats hanging outside the house, and the mom, you find out, doesn't like cats. So then you kind of think, okay, something weird's going on here. Is this like incest? Like, what is this? But they're like these weird looking creatures, and they feed off of, especially the mom feeds off of pretty girls to keep like her age.
Yeah, to keep her youth.
And she kind of uses her son or whatever he is, lover, to lure those girls into their life to feed off of. So the girl finds out about all this stuff, and she's like, you know, trying to like get out of there. But I don't know. I just, like I said, this is literally a monster romance movie.
My mom and my stepdad took me to go see this movie in the theater.
What? How old were you? This is 1992.
When I was what? Yeah, so about 6.
Really?
Yeah, about 6. Yeah,
huh.
7. Yeah, it's about 6, 7.
Did you like it as a kid?
And so when I was watching it as a kid, I'm thinking, what the fuck am I watching? Like, what is this?
Yeah.
And I just remember thinking, like, all these cats are on here. Like, what are these cats doing? I don't know. Like, when I remember watching it at, you know, because I used to live right down the street from the theater.
Oh, did it look like that theater that she worked at?
No, it just looked like a piece of shit. So. It was like a rundown theater.
Okay.
And so, but I lived like a block away from it, so we would walk down and go see the movie.
Mm-hmm.
And we went, we saw it, and it was like on Tuesday, Wednesday night, and we're like, I remember we all walked out of the theater and we all looked at each other like, what was that?
It's not exactly a kid-friendly movie.
Well, my parents never took me to kid-friendly movies.
I know.
They only took me to go see movies they wanted to go see, which was fine.
Did they like this movie?
My mom was confused. She was like, what was that? Mm-hmm. And my stepdad, he like really loved it. He's like, this is cool. I like that. Really? And all of a sudden we got cats.
Oh my god. See, cats protect you. But
cats are the guardians of the underworld.
It's such a, I don't know, it's just it's literally like a fun monster teenage romance fucked up movie. Like, that's all I can say about it, really. You know,
with the Scream Factory re-release, I do want to buy the Scream Factory re-release because there's some bunch of special features on there.
Oh, nice.
That I want to check out. Mm-hmm. But the only time I've ever seen this movie, like in its entirety since then, has been on TNT or TBS.
Oh, like TV. On TV, yeah.
I never actually sat down and watched it. Every time like I'm flipping through and I see it, like, you know what, I might watch this. And I watch it.
Yeah.
It's a lot funnier on TV.
It is.
It's a lot hilarious on TV. Because the ADR is just so
The
bad.
ADR is pretty bad, yeah. And you know what? You can't really find this movie anywhere to stream, like, for free. It's really hard to find.
No, I mean, with the re-release, though, that might change. But
yeah.
I definitely want to get the re-release, so that's going to be fun.
But then you have the song by Elysa and Johnny, Sleepwalk, which just adds so much to the movie. I don't know. I really like that music.
It does add. And especially taken in that context, it just seems more menacing and more scarier.
And it's Stephen King, so there you go.
Yeah, Stephen King. God damn you, King. Why would you do that? Why would you make that relationship weird, man?
Oh, are you kidding me? That's all Stephen King does. Make shit weird.
Okay, so my next one is Thirst. And this is a Korean film
I have not seen this.
2012. This came around the time where Old Boy and Sympathy for Mrs. Vengeance and all that stuff. Right around that time, that Korean...
They like took off.
They started taking off. This movie was put out there. I saw the trailer for it and I thought, this looks
Is
alright.
this the one with the cover where it's like black and white and Thirst is in red and like there's a woman looking down? Or is that another one?
Yeah, it's the same one.
That's the same one? Okay. I didn't know that was Korean. I thought it was American.
No, it was a Korean. It was released through Focus Features because they bought the American distribution for it. I saw the trailer and I read a review for it on Bloody Disgusting. And I was like, I might watch this. Because it said it was not your typical vampire movie.
Huh.
And I was like, okay, I'll go watch this. And so I should probably say this for my vampire movie. Fuck. But I watched it and I was like, God damn. It's like a 2-hour movie. So drink a lot of Red Bull if you want to stay up. Because this movie is slow.
It's slow.
Is
there a lot of dialogue?
Slow. No, there's a lot of dialogue, but it's just nothing's happening. Nothing happens till like maybe.
I think I know where you're going
halfway.
with your first one.
Yeah, it's kind of obvious, right?
I think I don't know. I haven't seen it, but I don't know if we'll see anyway.
So it's not a typical vampire movie, and everyone said this was a great movie.
So what's it about?
So it's about this guy who's a drunk. He goes in and gives blood, right? And then and so he goes in and then they put blood back in him, but apparently the blood they put back into him was from something else.
Dun dun dun.
And then he starts like receiving, like he starts changing. He starts getting sensitive to light. He starts getting a hunger that he can't satisfy. All of a sudden, he's like, he feels like he has teeth. Like, what the fuck is going on? One night, when the urge takes over and he bites this woman on the street, and he turns her inadvertently, like, by accident. Like, he didn't mean to turn her, but all of a sudden, it's like, oh my god, I killed her, oh my god. And then she wakes up, it's like, oh, hey, what's going on? And, like, throughout the time, so throughout the movie, he doesn't want to take her under his wing, but at the same time, there's like this relationship brewing between them. And it's like, oh yeah, but she starts becoming bad and starts like biting people and killing people, and it's like, that's not what I want to do. I don't want to do this, and so he thinks he's the only one that can stop her.
He's like the Louis, and she's like the Lestat.
Yeah, but basically, basically, I didn't make that parallel. But yeah, and so, but this ending had a very, I haven't seen it in a while, but the ending really stuck with me because the ending is so fucking beautiful, and it teared me up, and I was just like, holy shit. It's like, now that they love, like, I don't want to spoil it, but like,
they fall in love or something?
Well, no, they're always been in love. They were always like, there's love there, right? There was a romance there that was brewing. But once she started becoming like a bad guy, like he's like, no, I see the good in you. You don't have to do this. Like, we can do something else. We will figure it out. Just trust me. She does it, and so she just goes out and starts like going out,
killing people.
Yeah, but you don't see it. It's all off screen. It's very done in a very art house way, and I love the ending because the ending is just like a sunset, and then watching it.
Oh,
like,
that's romantic.
Not a sunset, like a sunrise.
Sunrise.
And so, but what you see when the camera pans is like their love lasts for eternity, and it's just like a very great metaphor. It's like, fuck. Now they're together forever.
Aww.
and the way that that they died, and it's just.
You gotta watch Near Dark then, because I feel like you would like that a lot. Like if you liked that movie.
Yeah, I've been wanting to watch Near Dark, but I've been wanting to watch it for like a total different reason, just because of Severin.
Yeah.
Because I heard that motherfucker's just insane.
He is, but the romance though, you know.
Yeah, and so this romance right here was just really real, and it teared me up because it was just thinking about it just kind of like makes you kind of weepy because it's just a beautiful ending. And I've never seen a horror movie that had an ending that beautiful. Because that is a beautiful ending. Like I highly recommend people watch this movie.
Is it in black and white or color?
No, it's all color. The cover is black and white.
Yeah.
But they did that so they make it look like it's a cross.
Oh, okay.
So that will, because if you look at it, it's like it's optical illusion.
Yeah,
so
that's what I was thinking when I first. You can stream this, right? I keep seeing it.
Yeah, you could. I think you can see this on Prime right now.
Okay.
It's not on Shudder though.
Was it on Netflix? I feel like it was on Netflix at one point.
Yeah, it was on Netflix.
But they took it off probably.
Yeah. But yeah, I that's my number 2, Thirst.
And that's interesting too because the woman in that is considered kind of the monster, not the guy.
Yeah.
Technically. Which leads to my point. All right, this movie, it's probably like one of my favorite movies now. The Love Witch 2016, Anna Biller. This is just such a beautiful movie. So Anna Biller, if you don't know who she is, she's like obsessed with the 60s. She looks like she's from the 60s. Everything she does is like legit 1960s. This movie's about a witch who just wants love. Literally, that's all she wants. And she just can't get it. And she tries to do all these spells to get the right guy, but she's always let down and just disappointed. But on top of that, the way this movie looks, it straight up looks like it's from the 1960s. The acting in particular, like I know you have a thing, like our producer has a thing with acting. I don't know if you like this because the acting, it's very, it's not, I don't want to say campy, but it's not.
It's like they don't know what they're doing.
No. She does know.
Actually, I haven't seen this yet, but I wanted to see it. But I kind of liked in the trailer or the couple trailers I watched, how it mimicked like a 60s film. Like I liked, and how the acting.
But you know what I mean? That acting from the 60s is very different than how it is today.
Exactly.
That's how it is, though. So
but
if you're not,
that seemed kind of fun.
It's very fun,
Instead of something I could take seriously.
Yeah.
Like where I,
But for people who don't like that, I don't know if they like. I showed it to my mom. My mom is like, she thought it was beautiful.
We've come so far.
Yeah, but she just, you have to be into that kind of thing. Like, I'm not dissing the acting at all, but it is a very specific type of acting, which I think totally works for this movie because it's so authentic. Like if you didn't know what year this was made, you would legitimately think you're watching a movie from the 60s. That's how detailed it is. And the director, she makes everything herself. She made like the set stuff. She owned like a lot of the stuff that they're shooting. So you can like literally tell there's a lot of love, a lot of research into how everything looks. And everything is so colorful. Everything's red, yellow, blue, purple. It's just so visually stunning. And their clothes and their makeup. It's like, I just want to be in this movie. It's so beautiful.
What it is it struck me that, or my thought was, the acting is supposed to be like this.
It is,
as opposed to, so it's part of the fun of the movie. As opposed to me watching something where the actor is trying to nail something, and it's like, whoa,
I know
that emotion or that whatever they said is way off than whatever.
Yeah, but I don't know. I think Samantha Robinson, who plays Elaine the witch, I think she like did such a good. She's like Lana Del Rey. Like she looks like Lana Del Rey in this. But anyways, like this, it is a romance movie, but it's got such feministic undertones, and I really think it's really great for today. Because in this whole movie, she's like, just give men what they want, give them sex, and they'll be happy, and do everything they want. That's how her character arc is at first. So she's just all about pleasing the man, and it goes into like the occult because she's a witch, and they show all like the witches circle and everything that they're doing. They nail that too. Like she obviously did a lot of research on witchcraft because they really nail a lot of that stuff, and it's completely accurate. And they show kind of how the male leader is very like touchy-feely with the girls and like kisses them, and a lot of cult guys.
This like in a cult. This is a cult, right?
No, she's a witch. It's not a cult, but she's in a coven.
She's in the coven, but the man though, right? The man's in the coven.
The man's the leader. He's the male leader. There's a woman leader, and then there's the man leader. But you can see, you know, because a lot of cults, the guys just use it to get girls. Mm-hmm. That's a real thing. Even in a lot of even in witch stuff, like men just go to hit on girls.
Cult leaders would always like ostracize the other alpha males, so he could have all the women.
Mm-hmm. So you really see that, and towards the end, she really changes and stuff. But you know, it's really interesting how today everyone talks about like the Me Too movement, and you could tell this character suffered from like abuse from her dad, abuse from one of her husbands. Like they were just always putting her down, but she still wants love. She still believes in love. But I don't want to give too much away, but you know, the witch stuff is so cool in this movie. Her spells are awesome. Everything she does is just so, I don't know, like it's like you just, like I said, like if I wanted to live in a movie, I'd want to like be her because she just, the way they do everything. But she can't keep a guy, so the horror element to this is like the deaths of the guys. You know, something wrong always happens with the guys. And the ending to this is really great because even though she goes, I don't want to give a lot away, but even though she goes through the ups and downs of this, you're like, oh, okay, wow. Like, you start to see, like, she's like, why should I always have to please a man? Like, that's what this has always been about, and what about what I want?
No one cares.
But, you know, it's I don't know, like I said, it's so authentic, and it's, I don't know, I watched it last night, and I've seen it like 4 times already, but I don't know, I just love it.
She's got 2 movies under her belt.
Yeah, Viva and The Love Witch.
And then she got a short, too, called A Visit from the Incubus.
Yeah. I want her to do more. She's so, like, I don't know.
It looks like she has, like, a certain kind of style, because just by looking at these last 2 posters and the last 2 screenshots of them, it looks like she has an interesting style.
Yeah, and she shoots in film, which is, like, amazing. That also, like, adds so much to this movie that's film. So everything is, like, Technicolor. Like, Technicolor is just all, like, on acid, you know? And a lot of those 60s films, if you watch, like, Valley of the Dolls, or even like Beyond the Valley of the Dolls, everything was so like psychedelic looking, you know. That's how she
touches on a lot, because even on Viewers it says like he was about a housewife and how it, like, what was it? Let's see. They're like 1970s suburban housewives experienced through a sexual revolution.
Yeah, I haven't seen Viva yet, but I really want to.
It's a musical.
Yeah, and she's in it. Anna Biller's in it herself.
Isn't she in the Love Witch too?
No.
Oh, she looks like her though.
Yeah.
Like on the poster, it looks like the same girl.
Yeah,
I don't know if you've seen the poster for the video.
Yeah, I have.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, she, like, I don't know, it's just such a beautiful film, and everything is just so detailed, and she's the monster because she's the one killing these guys, but yet you feel bad for her, you know, because she literally just wants love and she's not getting it, and you get to see like her ups and downs with it. But one thing a quote that stuck out to me and that I really liked is from the sexist guy, believe it or not, but he's talking about women and how you should wear makeup and, you know, look good and put perfume on, but he says a quote in it that says, men and women, our equality is in our differences. I don't know, that stuck with me because like today everyone wants to be the same, we want to be equal and equal, but what makes us equal is our differences. And I just thought that was like, I don't know, I thought that was like really cool.
And that came from a chauvinist pick. Wow.
Yeah, right? That's like what blew my mind.
That's progress right there. That's progress.
But I just like, when I heard that, I was like, mind blowing, you know, but I don't know, I really like that quote. It stuck with me.
That's a good cup.
Yeah. But that's my number one. What do you got?
Bram Stoker's Dracula.
Oh, okay.
Dracula.
Okay. That's a good one, Keanu Reeves.
And
I love Keanu. Sorry.
I do too, but I honestly think he was highly miscast.
A lot of people agree with you on that.
I think he was really miscast on this movie, but I will give him a fucking A for effort, though.
Yeah, you got it. Come on, it's Keanu.
I gotta give him an A for effort with that English accent, I gotta say.
Winona Ryder in this, though. Like, damn. You know?
Winona Ryder, Gary Oldman,
yeah,
Anthony Hopkins, and I think the dude from, goddamn, what's his name? The dude from Robin Hood, Men in Tights.
Oh, God, what's his name again?
That's why I came to you.
Hold on, let me see. But yeah, keep talking.
He's an American, and then he has his buddies that are all cowboys and shit.
Cowboys and shit.
I really like this movie, and this right here is another, perfect idea of what romance is, and what a love story in a horror movie could be.
Yeah.
Because basically, again, she's reincarnated. She is basically the reincarnation of his former love.
Carrie Ells, who's also Princess Bride.
Princess Bride, yeah.
I thought isn't he British? Oh, no, he's American.
No, I think he's American.
Oh yeah, I always forget Tom Waits is in this. I love Tom Waits. And Billy Campbell. I totally forgot Billy Campbell was in that.
Who did he play?
Quincy.
Quincy
Morris.
No, I don't remember.
And Monica Bellucci. I always forget that she was in that too.
But, again, this is a movie where, romance.
Yeah.
It's a
this,
very palpable.
Oozes romance.
And every shot, too, is very romantic. Everything is just, highly romanticized. And it looks like a love story. This is not even a horror movie. This is an actual love story.
But it's so horror at the same time, though, and I feel like they really combine both those elements, super well. Because it is pretty gory at times.
Yeah, the werewolf scene is pretty gnarly.
But Gary Oldman's, hair in this.
He has some great hair. I wonder if that was his real hair.
That's legit, though, because the original Vlad the Impaler had that kind of, curly, brown, wavy hair. If you look at photos of him, or people what they think he looks like that, they did a legit job, I think.
And to me, and also,
just great.
This is another one that has, a really great ending.
Yeah.
I thought it had a really great ending, and, it's funny, too, because all of a sudden she fell in love, and it's funny because it's juxtaposed with the opening of the film, and then it's reversed. It's just whoa. And even Keanu Reeves' character is he's like, no, it's fine, leave her.
Why? I wonder why they chose him for this.
He was a big name.
Yeah.
Bill and Ted just dropped.
Point Break happened already?
Point Break was right around the corner.
Private Idaho, I think.
Speed was 2 years from down the line.
Speed. Yeah, this is 92. Yeah.
Point Break came out in 93, I think.
Did it?
Yeah. Right?
I'm trying to see in my private... Yeah, Idaho was 91, so... And then Point Break...
You know what would have been easier if you just typed in Keanu Reeves, you know that, right?
Well, I have... Point Break was also 91.
Oh, it was?
Yeah.
Okay, so... Another big movie, too.
Yeah.
Well, actually, that wasn't even a big movie. I don't think that was a hit for
it became a cult.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Surfer movie.
Johnny Utah.
Me too.
I love that movie.
You should do a whole episode on that.
I know. Have you ever been to the live thing that they do?
No.
My friend was in it, actually. I think he was Johnny Utah, but it's live, so you go... You get, ponchos. They do a live version, and then they just throw water on you when they surf, and they have fake surfboards, and it's supposed to be really over the top, but it looks really fun.
What?
Yeah, they do it. It's not all the time though. They only have certain times they do it, but they do it in SF, they do it in LA, and it's just supposed to be wild. You go and expect to get wet because they just throw water on you.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
I know.
But yeah, that's my number one. But I mean, what can I say about this film that hasn't already been said? I can't.
Yeah.
And again, I don't know,
it's
Dracula and what's her name?
I forgot.
Winona Ryder. Let's just call it Winona Ryder.
Winona Ryder.
Their love is something that seems to be centuries old.
Who has the same birthday as me.
I love Winona.
Explains why she's psycho. But it's funny to me that their love is really... It seems because there's that moment in the street where they both know each other. It's
and he's got his whole top hat on and his whole look.
Oh, man, that's a dapper motherfucker, man.
Yeah, his glasses too. Yeah, it's a long movie though.
It is a long movie,
and they always show it around Halloween. And I never want to watch it around Halloween for some reason. I don't know why.
This is a movie that you kind of got to watch. This is... honestly, if you ask me, this is a Valentine's movie.
I think so, too. This, Candyman, and obviously the, Valentine, My Bloody Valentine. I just don't
no,
feel...
Valentine's just a garbage movie.
Shut up.
Garbage.
Shut up.
Garbage.
No.
And I still see you defending that fucker too on Instagram.
I will defend Valentine till the day I die.
You start hashtagging, hey, Elysa says. So that way everyone
don't
knows
get
it's you.
embarrassed. Whatever. I have no shame. I don't care.
Hey, man, our names are attached to this.
Do you have any other honorable mentions?
No, I don't have any honorable mentions. I think I'll save those for our next time. Honestly,
I have 3.
Yeah, you can go ahead. But I want to give my final thought on this is that, it's interesting to me that what a love story could do and used properly. And I feel like in these 5 movies that these movies that we mentioned, that a love story in a horror movie can be used effectively.
Oh, for sure.
And be able to talk about. Isn't it so crazy that horror movies, you can do anything?
Yeah.
You can talk about anything. As long as you put horror in it, you can...
Boom, yeah.
It'll work.
It's it's diverse too, I feel. Or it can be diverse, horror, it's... But I love romance horror because, like we discussed earlier, it hits both emotions. It hits the fear, it hits scary, but it also hits like love in a light-hearted moment. So I think that's...
And I think
it just
what it
works.
does too is it touches on desires.
Yeah,
well.
exactly.
It's one of the things that you gotta that I think we gotta understand is that these movies don't even touch on love only; they touch on desire. As well.
Mm-hmm.
And what is that desire? Like, is it for eternity, or is it just for that moment?
For that moment, is it a year? Yeah.
And so I just found that interesting. Like, these movies are very well written in a way that, they're able to tell a love story effectively.
And it's timeless, too. Like, this could go on for years and years and hundreds of years.
Because what's the story that's old as time?
Dracula.
Yeah. Well, not even that, but I'm talking about just, love story. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's old as time. And you can just put that anywhere and be like, oh, yeah. But all these movies display that all these characters, even side characters, have depth and they're 3-dimensional.
Yeah.
Even in Dracula, their side characters still have 3 dimensions
depth
to them.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what I wanted to say about that. But that's it.
That's it. All right. So these are just some fun honorable mentions that I did want to talk about, but like I said, this list was really hard. Wolf. Jack Nicholson, James Spader,
that's
Michelle
interesting.
Pfeiffer.
I honestly I was kind of wavering on that one actually.
Yeah.
But I needed to rewatch because I haven't watched it in a very long time.
I mean, it's dated. Like, I saw it last year. It's dated, but it's such a... I don't know. I love this movie.
I have not seen that movie since the 90s.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's been a lot. I don't know if you'd be into it then anymore.
I haven't seen this movie since I saw it. Okay, so I saw it twice in the 90s. So I saw it once in the theater when my stepdad took me to go see it.
Was it 94?
94,
94?
Yeah. We went to the actual nice theater in Watsonville. That's the theater that actually looks like the one in Sleepwalker.
Oh, does it?
Yeah.
That's cool.
And we saw it on the big screen. Mm-hmm. I liked it because it was a werewolf.
Yeah, and it's Jack Nicholson.
Well, I didn't really know who Jack Nicholson was at the time, but
he's a good
werewolf. But he was like, oh shit. And James Spader.
James Spader was so...
I love the fact that he turns and just pisses on his shoe.
No, when he sees Michelle Pfeiffer and he's like, oh my god, that was such a sexual scene. He's looking at her and smelling her, and his eyes are he was hot in this, whatever. But yeah, it's...
His wavy ass hair.
A lot of people I show this to don't like it. They think
it's a long movie.
They think it's too slow. They think the werewolf scenes, because they kind of slow it down when they're wolves. They slow it. A lot of people don't like that. Yeah.
Like the Baywatch.
A lot of people don't like that part, but I like it.
I'm serious. I'll show you a clip. He actually runs like that.
I know. Dun, 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 dun,
but, and then I saw it again on TV.
Yeah. They showed a lot on TV.
At the time, and I was like, it's fine, whatever. But, that's a movie that I have not seen in a very long time.
Yeah. I love Michelle Pfeiffer in it, too. But, so that's one I want to mention. Bride of Chucky, just because that's a fun one. That's a really fun one.
That was another one that I was kind of...
Yeah.
That I was thinking about, but I was like, I'm just going to go with these ones.
Yeah.
Because I know those movies...
They get talked about a lot.
Well, not only that, but I own those movies, and I watch them a lot. But Bride of Chucky is one that I don't revisit all that
really?
often.
Oh,
yeah.
I love Bride of Chucky.
I love Jennifer Tilly. I think she's great in that.
I love her.
And you know what? She does not get enough credit for being fucking funny.
She's hilarious in this.
She is hilarious.
Yeah, and the doll...
She has some good timing.
I bought, her doll, Tiff. And I was her for Halloween once. She's such a, like, I don't know. I just thought this movie was cute and funny and, like, messed up at the same time. And John Ritter, I don't know.
John Ritter.
Like, that whole thing, you know? But,
that was hilarious.
It was just a fun film and also a good soundtrack. That was, like, late 90s, right? 99, 98?
No, that's like 97, 90.
97?
Yeah, 97, 98.
All right. Last one. This is like actually one of my favorite movies. Bug. This is like the ultimate. This one
right here, I was definitely considering to be my number one.
Yeah.
That one right there just has an ending where you just go, whoa, shit.
It's not like super horror though. I think that's why I didn't choose it.
No, it's body horror though. If you really think about it, because of what they do to themselves, it is just fucking terrifying.
The acting so I didn't know this was based on a play, and Michael Shannon actually did the play first and then the movie. He's amazing in this movie. He's
Friedkin did this too.
Yeah, William Friedkin, and he's so convincing in this. It's like, are there really bugs? Like, is he really being watched? Like, you kind of like don't know as you're. I don't know. Like, he's very. You can see why Ashley Judd like
kind of
falls for him, and like that's all.
She just get caught up in that madness too, because she just got out of an abusive relationship,
right?
And she enters this relationship where she thinks it's like honest,
right?
But
like he's a real guy.
But as the relationship goes, and it just devours into something that's just horrific.
Intensity, yeah. And the foil, like everything's blue in the foil. I just thought like visually, it was such a good movie too. But yeah, that one is definitely an honorable mention that I wanted to talk about. But yeah, this was hard.
That's a tough movie to watch. Honestly,
it is tough.
I watched that again. That's the only movie that I watched once.
It's very intense, but the acting is just like, oh my god.
Yeah, that's a movie where I'm just like, oh man,
it's heavy.
I don't know if I could watch that again.
But you could watch Dead Girl again.
I have to watch that one again because honestly, I forgot a lot about it.
Oh.
But besides, I don't hear that movie talked about all that often.
It's not, yeah.
And A Bug is a movie that I own. I bought that movie and I watched it.
Mm-hmm.
And again, when you watch a movie, I think we should do an episode on this. But when you watch a movie and it has a certain kind of impact on you, it kind of stays with you.
It does.
And I think the fact that the impact of Dead Girl didn't really have that much of impact because mainly of the mindset that I was in, as opposed to the mindset that I was in when I watched Bug. And I watched Bug first before Dead Girl.
So you have to be like in the right mindset to watch certain things, or you're just not going to be into it, or it's not going to.
Well, again, I watched Dead Girl. Again, I should probably not say this at work on my lunch.
Hope your boss isn't listening.
On my lunch, so I couldn't. Again, so that was that, and I watched Bug at home, and it had a different impact on me. I was like, oh shit, like it punched me in the face. I was like, because I did not see that ending coming.
Yeah.
It's much like the Mist ending. Yeah. You don't see it coming.
Ah, the Mist. Yeah. But this was hard to do though, like, because there's so many, like, I at first I was like, oh, how am I going to find this many? But then, like, as I was really thinking about it and taking the time, I'm like, no, there's actually a lot that I want to talk about. But that's why I wanted to throw in the honorable mentions.
Yeah, I wanted to throw in Maniac.
Is that? I don't know.
Because
I've heard
we
people
should probably do
say
we should do a bonus episode on Maniac.
The original, not the Elijah Wood one?
No, yeah, the original
Did you see the Elijah Wood one?
I saw half of it. I could not get into the point of view shot.
Really?
That bugged the fuck out of me. Because the whole point of watching Maniac is because you see the expression. You see it in his eyes. Here, it just makes you more of a voyeur. Like it's like voyeurism, basically, but like halfway through the film, it switches to third person. Yeah. And that right there kind of like lost me. It's like, man, make up your mind. What do you want to do?
I think revisit it again, because when I heard this was being remade, and I was like, what the fuck? And I'm like, Elijah Wood, but then I was like, wait, Elijah Wood can do dark because he did Sin City, and like
But then I Elijah Wood and Alexandra Aja were the two names that kind of sold me on the remake. Yeah. Because I think Aja,
Aja remakes a lot of stuff too.
He remade like two of the best films.
Hills Have Eyes.
And Piranha. Say what you will, but that is a fucking fun fucking movie.
Anyway.
That is a fun movie.
But when I first, because this is like the point where I was like, I'm so sick of remakes. But then I like was bored one night and I was house sitting and I was by myself and I was like, you know what? Fuck it. I'll rent this, give it a go. And I actually really liked the remake. I didn't think, I thought I was going to butcher it and hate it. I actually really liked it, especially the end because I don't want to give it away, but there's a really cool scene and you're like, whoa, shit. But... I'd give it a second go.
I'll give it a second go. It's just like that whole voyeurism thing. It's like, I understand what you're trying to go there.
Yeah.
Like what you're trying to do there.
It's different.
But I wish you just stuck with it.
Yeah.
You know, just stick with it just a little bit more.
But so how is Maniac a romantic horror film?
Well, because Joe Spinell finds love and he's dating that model. And for that moment when he's dating that model, he's kind of not killing anymore. Up until that moment where she kind of like ditches him, and then he does that murder in the room.
Yeah.
And then when he does that murder in the room, because as opposed to everything else that prior to that, up until that point, it's like a fun slasher movie.
I just consider it a slasher.
And then, but when you get to the murder in the bedroom,
yeah.
It is dark. It is heavy. It is cold. Unlike the other ones where I don't want to say it's fun, but they're over the top.
They're just over the top, like bloody, violent.
Yeah, when that one is really cold.
Yeah.
It's like you actually see him humping the body with the knife. It is very.
Could that be a necro movie?
No, because he only did it once.
So you need to do more than once to be
exactly.
necro.
Oh, wait a minute.
Kind of questioning you right now.
The unspoken rules.
Yeah,
it's gotta be more than one because it's never revealed that he has something to do with necrophilia. It's never hinted.
Just he likes mannequins.
It's just that when he did that at that moment, I felt like he just kind of fell into it and he started doing it, and it just started. And the way the camera just lingers on it is just
it's so uncomfortable.
It's unnerving. Watching it too, when Bill Lustig talking about it is all like, like watching this scene is very uncomfortable for me. Like I told Joe too, like just for now, like this doesn't work. Like this doesn't belong here. Like up until this point, everything's over the top, and this one's just so cold. It changes the movie.
But I think it works though.
It works, But again, you have the whole questionable ending when the mannequins come alive.
Yeah.
So.
That mannequin's a creepy man. But I don't know. I mean, I guess I see that, but I still think it's just more of a slasher to me. I don't really see it as a romantic.
I was just saying, like that was one I was thinking of. Like again, I would have to rewatch it just to kind of narrow down my point because I haven't rewatched it in a long time.
And there's some I haven't seen, like Spring. I really want to watch.
I haven't seen that one either.
What was that Beast one that you guys recently saw?
Beast.
The Irish? It's just called Beast?
Yeah.
I really want to see that, too.
That was a really good movie.
Oh, another one I was going to mention is The Hunger.
Yeah, I'm surprised you didn't, because of David Bowie's
I know. My man. But that's an intent. Like, there's so many layers to that movie. And then Only Lovers Left Alive, I have not seen. I really want to watch that, because I love Tilda Swinton. So, there's still some I haven't seen, but... Those were the ones that, like, stuck with me the most. So that's why I chose those.
Alright, that's cool. Yeah. No one cares.
He's like, nobody cares. Shut the hell up. Cut.
Hey, producer, be a good producer and get us some water, please.
Wow.
Snap.
Let's go.
Well,
all right.
We're at the end anyways.
Yeah, we're
like past the end.
Yeah, we're all getting on each other's nerves. I can tell already. Like, there's a look in Elisa's eye like, get out.
No.
Oh, so I wanted to say, my mom said that we could use the room
Oh my
for
God!
free.
Stop! That's so bad. It's so bad. I like a thing with that. Okay.
All right.
Anyways.
So, this is our episode.
This is our last February episode.
Yeah, this will be up Tuesday. Well, when you listen to it, will be Tuesday.
Nobody cares, Johnny.
Shut up. So this is our romance and horror.
Yeah.
I'm gonna try to come up with a clever title. I don't think I can though.
We'll think of one.
But yeah. So why do you guys love monsters? Why do you feel like monsters are romanticized? And what is it about love stories being used in horror stories? Please leave us a comment on our Podbean channel or on Instagram. Just let us know what you guys think. You can rate, review us on Podbean at Bumpin' the Night Podcast 1428. Follow us at Bumpin' the Night Podcast 1428 on Instagram. And that's pretty much it. If you guys got any questions, leave us a comment. That it?
That it.
That it. All right. Rate
Stay
review us.
scary.
Even if it's a 1 star, it gets our profile up.
Yeah, there we go.
All right.
All
Bye.
right. Stay scary.
Bye.